I don't know how much time I have left. The sun has set, and they will come for me soon. My hands tremble as I write this, but someone needs to know the truth. Maybe if I get it all down, someone will understand what happened here, what they did to me, what they will do to others. It started 2 months ago when I received an invitation in the mail. The envelope was old-fashioned, sealed with black wax. There was no return address, just my name, scrawled in an elegant hand. Inside was a single card. You have been chosen, the hollow ones welcome you. And beneath that, an address. No explanation, no instructions, just an eerie invitation to something unknown. I should have thrown it away. I should have ignored it. But something about it gnawed at me, like a whisper in the back of my mind that wouldn't let go. So I went. The address led me to an old mansion deep in the woods, miles from the nearest town. The drive was suffocating. Towering trees lined the narrow dirt road, their branches clawing at the sky. By the time I reached the gate, the sun had begun to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows that seemed to stretch toward me. A figure in a black robe stood by the entrance, their face obscured by a hood. They didn't speak, just stepped aside and motioned me forward. I hesitated, but curiosity won. As I stepped inside, the door creaked shut behind me, sealing me into the dimly lit corridor. The air was thick with the scent of burning incense, a heady mixture of myrrh and something more acrid. Hooded figures moved silently through the halls, their footsteps barely a whisper against the stone floor. I felt out of place, an intruder in something ancient and sacred. Then a voice called my name. A woman emerged from the shadows, her face pale, her eyes dark as ink. She smiled, and something about it made my stomach twist. "Welcome," she said. "We've been waiting for you." They called themselves the Hollow Ones. A brotherhood, a sisterhood, a gathering of those who had seen beyond the veil of this world. They spoke in riddles and half-truths, weaving their beliefs into an intricate web that ensnared my thoughts. "We are vessels," they told me. "We empty ourselves so they may enter, so they may feed." I laughed at first, thinking it was some kind of elaborate performance, an initiation rite meant to test my resolve. But then I saw the way they looked at me, hollow-eyed, fervent, desperate. And I began to listen. Days turned into weeks. I stayed, drawn deeper into their world, unable to leave. The mansion became a labyrinth, its halls shifting, doors leading to places they shouldn't. At night, I heard whispers seeping from the walls, voices that didn't belong to any living thing. They spoke in a language I didn't understand, but I could feel their meaning, cold and hungry. And then the ceremonies began. The first time I watched from the shadows. Hooded figures stood in a circle, chanting in low, guttural tones. At the center, one of their own knelt, head bowed, arms outstretched. The leader, the woman who had welcomed me, held a silver blade above their head. "Empty yourself," she whispered. The blade plunged into the kneeling figure's chest. No scream, no struggle, just a slow exhale as their bodies slumped forward. And then, something else took their place. The body jerked, twitched, convulsed. And when it lifted its head, the eyes were not human. I wanted to run, but the walls of the mansion had closed around me. There was no way out. And worse, they had plans for me. The dreams started soon after. I would wake in a cold sweat, my hands trembling, my mouth dry. In my dreams, I stood in the center of the ritual chamber, my own chest split open, something writhing inside me, trying to get out. I could feel it moving beneath my skin, clawing its way toward freedom. "You are ready," the woman told me one morning, placing a hand on my shoulder. "Tonight, you will become." I didn't ask what she meant. I already knew. I tried to escape. I waited until the dead of night, when the mansion was silent. I crept through the halls, past the empty rooms, past the locked doors. But the mansion did not want me to leave. Every corridor twisted back into itself, leading me deeper instead of out. The doors that should have led outside opened to nothing but endless darkness. And the shadows watched me. The next morning, the woman smiled knowingly. "It is pointless to resist," she said. "You were chosen. You belong to them now." I felt it then, deep inside me. A hollowness, an absence where something had been taken. Or worse, where something had been put in its place. Tonight is the ceremony. I can hear them preparing, their voices rising in eerie harmony. The air is thick, charged with something electric, something wrong. My hands shake as I write this, my breath comes in ragged gasps. I can feel it moving inside me now, writhing just beneath my ribs, whispering in a voice that is almost mine. "They are coming. I don't know if I will still be me when this is over." If you find this, if you read these words, do not look for the hollow ones. Do not follow the invitations. Do not listen to the whispers in the dark. Some doors should never be opened. Some things should never be let in.